Hey guys, it's Bree with the B Face, and today we have another Ready to Love review. Sidebar, interestingly enough, I really like PJ Morton, and I had no idea he was the one who sang this theme song. And it just randomly popped up on my Spotify one day, the Ready to Love theme song, and it was PJ Morton. I was like, another reason why I love this show. I was listening to PJ Morton, I had no idea. Anyway, this episode, I feel like this review is going to be really short. At the very top of my notes, I wrote snooze fest in huge capital letters because this episode was so boring. I think that this new way of doing things where they're like inviting two new singles every week, like I get it for entertainment value, but I don't feel like they're doing this as another way to get lasting relationships on the show. I feel like they're just doing it for entertainment value. And I don't even know that it's that entertaining. It's just it's just more people. And I like, no shade to the cast. I think this is purely the way the setup is this season. A lot of them are forgettable. A lot of them. And it's so funny because some of these group dates, again, this is going to be a very short review. A lot of these group dates, I'm like, who is this person? What is his name? And I feel like I'm really good when the show comes on about learning everyone pretty quickly, but like they're just so forgettable. And possibly because you're also adding more people. So it's hard to keep up with all the things. So anyway, that's my initial rant about this season and the format, whatever they're doing. So let's get into it. So, as per the season regulations, two more people are entering the show. So they're two blind dates. So Dakia is meeting the guy who is coming on board, and Clifton is meeting the lady who is coming on board. So Dakia and Eric is the new guy's name. He's a chef. Cool. They seem to hit it off, but it's so interesting. I was kind of surprised that they hit it off because he seemed very reserved, like, and a little bit like, maybe not shy, but nervous. So it was just interesting that they hit it off because Dakia does not seem like any nervousness is ever named among her. But that was about it on the date. Clifton and AP, she seemed really serious and like she really was ready to find someone who was also going to be serious about her. But it's so interesting to see, and a little bit through the rest of the episode, she really is like, yeah, this ain't it. You're not it either. Also not it. Like, she's very decisive about what she wants. But Clifton, she was like, you look like my brother. So this ain't finna work. But you gotta respect the honesty, like, for real. Anyway, the next thing was a group date. So you had Ace, Joy, Cornelius, Dakia, and Eric, and it was this thing called a paint and switch. So they start painting on a canvas, and then like every 5 minutes or so they pass it to the next person. Maybe it was called paint and pass. I feel like paint and switch is a better name. So if it's not called that, paint and switch. Anywho, I actually liked seeing Eric in this environment because he seemed like he was really invested in getting to know the ladies. Like, he's, moving around. He's really talking to people. He spoke to Ace. He was like, she's cool, but I don't know, if there's anything there. Moves to Joy, something interesting about her, blah, 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 like all of that. So I liked seeing him there because he seemed like he was being really intentional, and I really liked that about him. Plus, he's a very attractive man, and he almost reminds me of Laverne in the looks, but Eric seems just so much more grounded and mature. And Laverne seems like a little boy. Like, he's just so... And I'm not even saying that people who are playful and all of that are always immature. He reads very immature. Laverne does. It just... which makes the attractive level like lesser. Anyway, so Eric was getting to know everybody. Cornelius seems to have a bit of an aversion to the word marriage. Like, he clenched up as soon as Takia said marriage, which is interesting. And it's also interesting because the last episode, as soon as, what's that girl that got eliminated? Whatever her name was. She said she's looking for a husband, and he was like, well, life partner, husband, whatever you want to call it, I'll be here. And when he went to the men's lounge, he told them she just went crazy and went off, and she's so closed-minded and all that stuff. And I was like, not about a value. That's a value. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of very just, like, if you don't care for the institution of marriage, I mean, whatever. But he like, ooh, the word marriage has got to him. Anyway. That was really it for the group dates. Again, these dates are not giving anything. It's been so boring. The individual date. You get to Paul and Sabrina. Sabrina wanted no parts of Paul. And Paul was actually being a normal human being. I really enjoyed that part. She did say, Sabrina said a really good line that I actually liked a lot. She said, I don't want my relationship to feel like a business partnership. That's a good line. I like that. Nothing interesting about this date. Then there's another group date, and it was Paul, Demetrius, Laverne, Joy, and AP. Can I just say, AP seems like she is not about the foolishness. She's like, I'm here for what I'm here for, and this is not giving it. It's so interesting. Anyway, so on this group date, they went bowling, and the only interesting part about that was that Joy and Laverne were flirting. That was about it. But I was like, what happened to Carmen? I thought she was the one. She doesn't seem like she's in the running anymore. Then there was another group date. They did this like bus tour of DC. I'm like, y'all could have just walked around the National Mall. That would have been easier. Sabrina, Wiley, Demetrius, AP, and Tori. Do you see what I mean about forgettable? I about forgot that Demetrius and Tori existed because they don't be doing nothing and they keep adding more people. Who's supposed to remember all these people? Anyway, there was nothing interesting about this date. The only interesting thing was poor Demetrius. They have these seats that are two. Like, one person sits on one side, the other person sits on the other side. It's like two across. And poor Demetrius, this is what I mean about those uneven dates. It's hard to get in anywhere with those uneven dates. Poor Demetrius is sitting in the back, just not doing nothing. Like, ooh, Washington Monument. That's cool. I need to make sure I take a picture over there. Oh, it's Black History Month. They got the MLK rock out here. I wonder if they finna get an Obama monument. I feel like that would be dope because, I mean, he was the first Black president, the coolest president. So, I mean, I feel like he deserved a monument. I feel like that was him the whole time. Like, there was nothing going on. There was nothing going on. And then Sabrina was like, well, he's just sitting there and he's not engaging in conversation. And I just feel like he should fight for me to let me know that he's still in the running. Ma'am, fight for you? On a tour bus? Why? It's just that. It's a tour bus. It's hard to get in conversations when it's two people in like a row. It's hard to get anywhere. Like, why are you so upset about this? You could have invited him into the conversation. You're having a private conversation. Is he supposed to just jump in and start talking and making it about himself? Like, ma'am, I didn't get that part. I was like, girl, unless the editors really just chopped and screwed something that you said about a different portion of the season, because you know they do those confessionals like at one time. Unless they chopped and screwed what you said and you actually said that about something down the line. I was like, that makes 0 sense at all. It's week 3. Anyway, that was it on that date. And then the last date was Joy and Clifton. And listen, this is why I like Clifton and his intentionality and how he is like just solid. This man had a whole allergic reaction to coconut. He said, as long as I'm still breathing and my heart don't stop, we finna have this date. I said, yes, sir. Yes. What? Like, why is this so hard? People be canceling for no reason. People be like upset about nothing. And this man was like, I could be having a whole allergic reaction. As long as we not in anaphylactic shock, we really good. Because I'm finna spend some time with you. That's the type of energy I need for any man in my life to bring. Like, come on. Come on. Anyway, I stand by the fact that they are my favorite ready to love couple. Even the ones that are still together now, like the two. They're my favorite, and the season's not even over yet. And so then they had Deliberation, and there weren't many interesting things. But Paul and Cornelius were at the bottom. I figured Cornelius might go home because it seemed like he was very playful throughout the whole time and not really like, he just didn't seem like he was in this space of pursuit. Like I am not even like zeroing in on any one particular person because it's still early in the process, but it didn't seem like he was interested in being the one pursuing like anyone. Like, I'm going to be real intentional about this. I'm going to be real intentional about making sure, you know, I reach out to these ladies and go on a date. I'm like, everybody thought you felt like a friend? That doesn't sound like any pursuit was actually going on. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying he just gave very playfulness. And it just wasn't, like, I can see why there wasn't anything romantic happening because it didn't seem like he was curating romantic moments. Precious in Deliberation was riding for Paul. And it's so interesting, like the way she talked about him was like, this was the connection of a lifetime. And what was interesting when she went to go tell Paul he was in the bottom, that man lit up when he saw her. He really did. I was like, let me find out Paul actually likes somebody for real, and can be normal. Instead of that weird energy he brings in group settings. Or like the men's lounge or something. But yeah, that was interesting. Cornelius ended up going home. I'm very glad he didn't make a scene because that would have been unbecoming. And I feel like for who he is and how he looks and that deep voice that he got, you'd be good. Like, you would be fine. It's really not that big of a deal. And if it wasn't here, it wasn't here. And that just frees you up to go do other things. Find the person. If you're looking for a person, find that person somewhere else, you know, and someone who enjoys the playfulness, someone who doesn't necessarily need for it to be romantic all the time and is just cool with what you bring to the table and is not looking to get married because clearly that's not on your radar. Anyway, I feel like this was so fast. This is a very quick review. I can't even, like the last time I had 2 pages, like I can't even stretch this. I was so bored watching this episode. Oh my gosh. And it was so funny because I thought this season was going to be a little more interesting. But again, I just feel like the format that they have is just not lending itself to deeper connections. And it just isn't, it's not, at least this episode just wasn't giving me anything, and we'll see what happens next time. The next episode didn't really look very interesting. They always have a pool party, so I guess we'll see. We'll see if anyone's leaving love notes, word to Corey, and what drama pops off there. But that is all I have. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.